I'm here with Deborah Berebichez. She's a Stanford-trained physicist and a science communicator. You're here at the Women in Tech lunch today. What do you hope to achieve with gatherings like this?
Well, I'm a big promoter of women in science and women in tech. So I love to network with other women who have accomplished a lot of things and know what it's like to work in a field that's male-dominated. And I'm running a couple of initiatives back in New York that I want to bring to other countries. In particular, there's one I'm the ambassador for, and it's called Technovation Challenge, which has taken place in both New York and San Francisco. And we take girls, high school girls, maybe 16 years old, who come from underserved communities, and we pair them up with mentors that teach them how to code a science-based mobile application. And it's a 6-month program, and the girls learn not only how to code an app, but learn how to pitch a business and what a business model is and how to create one. So after this 6-month thing, we have a contest, and whoever wins gets their app developed professionally by Google. We have a partnership with them. And the money coming from the application, we hope, will go to a scholarship fund for college for these girls. And yeah.
We're looking at doing that now and getting towards girls at a young age into coding science. How important is that? And is it a new thing in the States, or it's been established for a while?
It's a good question. I think there's been an effort in the US to definitely complete these programs and all that, but I think the rate at which this has been done is quite slow, to be honest, and especially that's in the US, but in the developing world where I come from in Mexico, it's even slower. So I think the goal is for people to just not think too much about what to do, but just do all these programs, and we'll learn, trial and error. And once we zero in the best and the optimal strategy for getting more girls into tech, then things will, expand and get better as we progress. But I feel like everyone's talking about it, but not a lot of people are doing it.
How did you move from a science career as a physicist into technology, or what you do now?
Yeah, so I grew up in Mexico City in a pretty small, more conservative community where I wasn't always encouraged to do science. And, my mother and my peers and everyone said, for a girl, maybe you should pick something more easy or more feminine, and so going through that and then having to kind of do it on my own without a lot of support from my background and my community. And I went to the US and I managed to do a bachelor's in physics and philosophy, which was what I started with. And years later, I became the first Mexican woman to finish a PhD in physics from Stanford. And after that experience, I realized that it wasn't only my experience, that there were a lot of women in the world that somehow were attracted to science but had struggled either for financial reasons or social reasons or whatever to come to science and technology. So I decided to start mentoring programs, and out of that grew up a desire to really spread the word around. And so I've done TV and public speaking, and I've run initiatives for a bunch of organizations.
How good is it to be in Ireland at a lunch with other women in tech and to discuss these issues?
It's amazing. For me, I always seek, other amazing women and other people who are really, striving in their careers, because it's a validation that you took the right path in your life, and that other people are there for you to take care of us as a collective group.
Do you think the tech industry is coming behind these issues about having more females in it and gender issues? Will it row in behind individuals like yourself?
I think so. I mean, I do see changes going on. I think the ratio is still, there's a disparity in gender for sure. But for example, Paddy Cosgrave here for the Web Summit, he first announced the 10 female speakers. And that was a really bold move, and in a way, provocative, sending a message that women are not only important to have in the conversation, but he kind of put women in the primary role, just announcing them to begin with. It's still, you see the ratio at the Web Summit, and it's still more men, of course, than women, but we do see an increasing number of women participating in tech companies and all that. So I love the fact that that's happening.